In recent days, Neymar's name has once again taken over the headlines of Brazilian football, this time linked to a possible move to Flamengo. What started as quiet internal discussions has quickly turned into one of the most debated topics in South American football, raising questions about ambition, risk, power, and identity. This is not a confirmed transfer. This is not an official negotiation. But it is a story that reveals how divided Flamengo currently is about one of the biggest stars in world football. According to reports from inside the club, several senior and influential players in Flamengo's squad have privately expressed their desire to see Neymar wearing the red and black jersey next season. These players believe that Neymar's arrival could dramatically raise the team's technical level and global relevance heading into 2026. Among the names reportedly supportive of the move are experienced figures such as Danilo, Alexandro, Jorjan de Arrascaeta, Bruno Henrique, and Leo Pereira. Inside the locker room, the idea is simple. Neymar would bring experience, creativity, star power, and international attention that few players in the world can match. For these players, Neymar represents more than just talent. He represents leadership in big matches, the ability to decide games alone, and the kind of presence that commands respect from opponents before the ball even starts rolling. Another factor fueling this speculation is Neymar's contract situation. His current deal with Santos is set to expire on December 31st, which opens the door for a potential move without a transfer fee. In today's football market, where elite players often cost tens of millions of dollars, this is seen as a rare and strategic opportunity. From the perspective of some within the squad, signing Neymar as a free agent would be a statement, not only to South America, but to the entire football world. It would signal that Flamengo is serious about competing at the highest international level and willing to take bold steps to do so. However, while parts of the locker room appear enthusiastic, the reaction from Flamengo's football leadership is very different. Club executives and members of the technical staff are approaching the situation with extreme caution. Internally, the move is seen as high risk, both from a sporting standpoint and an institutional one. One of the biggest concerns raised behind the scenes is straightforward, yet complex. How would Neymar react if he did not have absolute status on the field? This question weighs heavily against any real progress. Flamengo has built, over recent seasons, a balanced and competitive environment where no single player is bigger than the system. The coaching philosophy values collective effort, rotation, and tactical discipline. There is real concern that bringing in a global superstar like Neymar could disrupt that balance, especially in scenarios where he might not be guaranteed a permanent starting role or full tactical freedom. The fear is not about Neymar's talent. That is unquestioned. The fear is about hierarchy, expectations, and how the dynamics of the locker room could change overnight. Flamengo's leadership believes that the club's recent success has been built on unity, structure, and internal harmony. Any move that threatens that stability is treated as a serious risk, regardless of the player involved. Another layer of complexity comes from the possibility of squad rotation. In Flamengo's current model, no player is above competition. Even established stars are expected to fight for their place, adapt tactically, and accept strategic decisions from the coaching staff. Internally, some decision-makers question whether Neymar would be comfortable in such an environment, especially after spending much of his career as the undisputed focal point of every team he played for. While the football department applies the brakes, Flamengo's marketing department views the situation from an entirely different angle. From a commercial and branding perspective, Neymar's arrival would be transformative. It would likely generate an immediate explosion in global engagement, social media growth, sponsorship interest, and international exposure. Neymar remains one of the most recognizable athletes on the planet. His image transcends football, reaching audiences far beyond traditional fans of Brazilian clubs. For Flamengo's marketing team, signing Neymar would reinforce the club's position as the biggest sports brand in Brazil and one of the most visible clubs in the global south. The commercial upside is enormous: new markets, new partnerships, and unprecedented visibility. But despite this appeal, current indications suggest that football decisions are taking priority over commercial temptation. At this moment, the internal trend points toward Neymar remaining at Santos rather than making a move to Flamengo. The resistance from the football department appears stronger than the enthusiasm coming from the locker room and marketing side. Still, nothing is officially closed. As long as Neymar's future remains unresolved, speculation will continue, and every statement, performance, or rumor will be amplified. This situation also highlights a broader debate within modern football. How clubs balance star power with long-term stability. Is it worth taking a risk on a global icon if it could disrupt internal harmony? Or is that exactly the kind of risk required to compete at the highest level? For Flamengo, this is not just about Neymar. It is about identity. About deciding whether the club wants to build around a collective system or reshape itself around a singular superstar. For Neymar, the situation is equally complex. A move to Flamengo would offer massive visibility, intense pressure, and the chance to redefine his legacy in Brazilian football. At the same time, it would demand adaptation, humility, and acceptance of a different role within a highly competitive squad. As things stand, there is no final answer. Only internal debates, contrasting visions, and a football world watching closely. One thing is certain. The fact that Neymar's name alone can divide opinions inside Flamengo shows just how powerful and complicated this potential move truly is. And until a final decision is made, the question remains open. Will Neymar take the next step of his career at Santos? Or could Flamengo still pull off one of the most shocking moves in Brazilian football history?